My name is Wes Kirtz. This is my wife, Abby. We've been married since 2009, and we want to tell you a little bit about what God has taught us about giving.
I grew up in a family with parents who tithed regularly, and they taught a lot to me and my brothers about tithing and encouraged us to tithe, starting with our allowance when we were younger. And as we got older, we were encouraged to tithe from our summer jobs or babysitting. When Wes and I got married, I honestly don't remember having a discussion about tithing, but it's something we did from the very beginning. And it was different once we started getting jobs and making money, to be giving back a more substantial amount of money. I remember there were some times when we compared ourselves to our friends who we knew weren't tithing because they weren't Christians, and thinking how much more money we would have every month if we weren't tithing. But we recognized that that was Satan attacking us and trying to get us to not tithe. And eventually we learned to really give cheerfully and give from a grateful heart. Wes and I have a 2-year-old daughter, and it had always been my dream to be able to stay home and raise our children. But we knew that I would need to be able to find some sort of replacement income to help with the finances. But we didn't know what that would be or what that would look like. We didn't really have a plan in place either when she was born, so I ended up going back to my teaching job, which was really hard for me to do. But looking back, it was a great year of growth for me, and a great year of maturity. But it also confirmed the decision that I really wanted to be able to stay home. So Wes and I prayed every single day together, probably for a year, that God would provide some way to allow me to stay home. Again, we didn't know what that would look like, and as the year progressed and nothing was happening, I really started getting nervous. I remember it was May, and I was almost panicking because it was the end of the school year and nothing had turned up, and we just didn't know how we were going to make it work. Wes was really encouraging to me at that time. He said, "We've been praying about it every day. God has not given us a yes or a no yet, so we're going to keep praying through until he shows us what his plan is for us."
So as Abby said, it was May 2016, and I am an accountant, so I just came out of 4 months of a grueling tax season. And this year, more than ever, I noticed that more and more of my clients were having these home-based businesses. They were small. Most of them didn't have a business or finance background. They didn't really know how to keep track of anything, and they just ended up bringing me a box of receipts and said, "Here's my tax return." And so in order to help those people out, I created a spreadsheet to kind of help them keep track of things throughout the year, make it easier on me, but also make it easier on them so they know how much income they're making and all the expenses and where they all go, and just kind of give them a full background of how this works on a pretty simple, easy to use spreadsheet. So I created that, and then Abby, soon after I created it, was like, "Oh, that's something that this group I'm in on Facebook could really use."
So we made the spreadsheet for sale on a website called Etsy, and we posted it for sale for a few dollars, and then I shared it on this Facebook group that I'm a part of, thinking that the people would be able to benefit from it. Within a few minutes of sharing, we heard a cha-ching from Wes's phone.
So what Abby didn't know was I put the Etsy app on my phone, and every time you get a sale, it cha-chings, and I didn't know that either, so we were completely shocked, and we're like, "Wait, what was that?" I checked my phone, and it was the Etsy app going off saying, "You made your first sale." So I was like, "Well, that was cool." And then probably 2 minutes later, we heard another one, and then another minute later, we heard 2 in a row, and then just it kept going kind of nonstop all night. And probably the next morning, I woke up and I just scrolled through my phone and all these alerts that I just kept making sales all night. And so overnight, we made a little over 100 sales with the spreadsheet.
So over the course of the next month, this was May and June of 2016, we continued to get sales every single day. And after having it for sale on the website for 30 days, we realized that we had made enough money from selling spreadsheets to match within a few dollars my monthly teaching salary. So that was the answer that we had been praying for, to allow me to stay home with our daughter. We still get cha-chings every single day, just about on our phone, and every time we hear it, it's just a constant reminder of God's provision and His faithfulness in our lives.
What we've learned throughout this whole process is that, yes, it is very hard to give, especially when you're up against the wire, trying to save as much money as possible for a goal or a dream of yours, ours being for Abby to stay home. But we kept at it. We tithed faithfully, and we really firmly believe He can do more with a lot less than you could on your own.
God has taught us so much through this experience, and we truly have been amazed at the creative and unique ways that He has provided for us. One of the benefits from tithing is that there is a great peace and comfort that comes from knowing that God truly will provide for all of your needs when you obey Him through tithing, and that's one thing we have learned firsthand through this experience. We don't know what the future holds. We know that spreadsheets will be obsolete someday, but we know that God will find another way to provide for us.